back to another episode of Just Jossin Around. I'm excited. I have two out-of-town guests today. I have Tim Overton and Zach Mecham from Des Moines. Welcome, guys.
Thank you, Joslyne. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. How was the drive?
Well, Zach can tell you. Nearly, yeah, a couple times.
Okay,
no,
explain.
I mean, right in front of us, we were going down the road. First of all, I rode Zach's chair the whole way here, so it was a wild trip. But yeah.
We're gonna stop. I think there's something wrong with cord one.
oh dang.
Damn. But you know what?
We never get the flow back.
He was cooking. It's okay. It's all right. I'm glad you caught that earlier rather than...
Chuck that cord.
And you know what? I'm still going to clip that.
Yeah, do it.
That was very funny.
Check.
Get the levels.
All right. We are good. Sorry.
Gorgeous.
No worries. I say keep it in. Keep all that in.
Yeah, it's staying. No cuts.
Does she need to do her intro again? Just like better.
There was actually nothing wrong with the mic.
Yeah.
Grace just knew I had it. I could do better.
That's a good producer.
She's a great
Oh,
producer.
the chord. No, it's not a good chord. Let's take it again.
How many times did that happen when, like, the Beatles were recording their track?
Yeah.
It's like,
They're doing Abbey Road, and that British guy was just like, I'm going to change a microphone.
yeah, they're just in the back like, this sucks. Like, hey,
Oh
we
my
had
gosh.
a problem with the guitar.
I forgot that Des Moines comics are funnier.
Oh, we are. It's
Yeah.
true.
It's something I forget until I'm around you guys, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is real sense of humor.
Yeah. Yeah. Better. Just better all
Just
around.
better. Yeah, I'm excited.
But yeah, we nearly died. So going down the road in Zach's van, and this truck, one of those big like lifted trucks with huge tires, it suddenly comes over into our lane right in front of us and
Horrifying.
slows down and then gets over to the side of the road. And when he gets over to that side, you can see that his front tire had blown. And so he got off as safe as he could. Man, we almost died.
That's
But we also, like, it's on us for profiling.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We were talking shit.
We saw the tires and immediately were like, this guy
Yeah.
just thinks he
Yeah.
owns the
He's
road.
trying to pick a fight with a handicapped guy. This guy right in the middle of traffic. He's trying to take you out, man.
I profile every
You gotta.
car that's bigger than me.
Did you see this truck that's in the lot here? I don't know if we can call out the
Is it the-
owners.
is-
You know the one I'm talking about.
Is it the one with the American flag?
Two eagles, side by side, shoulder to shoulder.
I don't think that they work for Herdat.
Oh,
But
really?
I don't. I
Okay.
do think that they work because I'm like the vibes at Herdat, which is where we're recording right now. No one gives off two eagles on the side of a
I
truck.
didn't think
energy.
so.
No one here. So I do profile that car.
There's no one like holding a vigil podcast for the POW MIA. Like until they come home, we will do another episode.
But I see it every time I
It
pull
blew
into
my
this
mind.
lot. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so much.
It's
honestly,
a lot.
I do wish that there were, as far for like big trucks and stuff like that, I do wish that there were separate roadways. I don't know if that's what you could call them. I don't believe in segregation, but I do for normal cars and semis.
We should just start accusing them of being flamboyant
Yeah.
because that's the perfect, like, target audience. So, like, we'll just get them to stop. Just like,
So yeah, it's just a little like flashy.
Yeah.
It's a little.
Yeah. It's a little, you know,
Just flick the wrist and look at it.
they'll get it.
yeah.
Well, I'm so glad you guys are safe. You guys didn't die. By
Yeah,
a
we made
truck.
it.
That is my actual fear, though, is either my tire blowing out or being by a car whose tire is just blown out.
Well, it happened. We lived through it. We're stronger comics now.
It's amazing. Have you guys ever been in any serious car accidents?
Serious? I mean, before the accident, Zach looked a lot better, but
Well, I was actually nervous about being on this podcast because I've never jossed around before, but I have been jostled.
yeah, plenty
That's
of
how I
times.
ended up like this.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I've caused a couple accidents for sure.
You've jostled.
I've
some
definitely,
folks.
I jossed a couple folks. Yeah, I'll say that. Yeah. No, I'm always backing into people and shit. I'm a terrible driver.
I'm a pretty bad.
Zach's a lot better, and he does it remote. So, like, I don't know. Maybe that's an advantage. Do you feel like it's an
Yeah.
advantage? I feel like it's more responsive.
I feel like I could have my wheel whipped all the way over
Yeah.
in like a half second.
Yeah. Yeah, you can really do some tight turns in that thing.
Because the way it works is I have a joystick.
Okay.
And you push it to the left, it turns the wheel left.
Uh-huh.
But, like, if you push it all the way to the left,
It goes.
it whips the wheel all the way over to the left.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and the acceleration and the brake too.
Yeah.
I feel like I would be too loose with that.
it's actually, Tim was asking on the way
Oh,
over
yeah.
here, do you think I could drive that? And I was like, theoretically, yeah.
Yeah.
Without killing us, I doubt it.
Yeah.
So,
Is it like,
no.
can you mess with the sensitivity of the joystick? Like, or is it just like,
No, you just get used to it.
you get used to it?
Yeah, so my first, like, almost week driving it was in an empty parking lot, just getting a feel for it.
Yeah.
So,
That's smart. That's responsible, actually.
Yeah.
Zach, I've never met you before. But you live
yeah.
in Des Moines.
Yeah.
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 Well,
How long have you been
close.
doing what? Kind of?
Pleasantville.
Yeah.
A few miles southeast of Des Moines. But with Des Moines, that's really like metro area. That's a lot of people. Like I'm in Indianola, which is a half hour south of Des Moines. But that's
Okay.
it's kind of like a suburb, you know?
Yeah, it's like Omaha. And then
Yeah.
there's
Same. Yeah.
It's every Midwest is built the same.
Yeah.
So how long have you been doing stand up?
Cumulatively, like a couple years.
Yeah.
So I started when I was 19, did it for like 6 months, and then quit for like a decade.
That's the normal
And then
response.
like a year and a half ago, I picked it back up.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's I feel like there's like a resurgence, I feel like within the last few years of just stand up, of just like people either starting it or getting back into it.
Yeah.
It's just like,
I think COVID had an impact on that. You know, people had a lot more free time. When did you start?
I started 2020.
So yeah, pandemic.
Yeah.
Was it a similar situation for you? Like you had free time, you're off the job or whatever, and
I just got out of a relationship.
Perfect.
I was so depressed.
perfect.
I hit rock bottom. I actually went back to church before I started doing stand up.
You started doing sermons first.
I was like killing it in the youth group, and I was like, I gotta take this to the stage.
You were just witnessing the hell out of it, you know.
I was like, they were. I remember them doing like a talent show for the church, and I was like, I should just try to do stand up.
Yeah.
For that. And then I realized that I actually was just really depressed.
Yeah.
And I wasn't a Christian, so I just
That's a tough realization.
I just wanted to be around people.
I just wanted hope.
Yeah.
Some kind of hope.
And honestly, terrible career choice. The church circuit for comedians is like crazy lucrative.
Taylor Tomlinson says so. Yeah.
It's insane because it's like, I mean, it's wildly impressive.
Yeah.
I've like watched a lot of Christian comedians or like people that tour those churches.
Yeah, or like Dry Bar. Or, yeah.
I'm sure it's lucrative because it's like that's so hard. The idea of like doing a whole hour clean, and I mean, yeah, but it's just, I don't know. I mean, I struggle to do a 5-minute clean set
Yeah.
at the Funny Bone in Omaha.
Yeah.
Which, congratulations.
Thank you.
And I'm gonna say this. I have predicted everyone correctly for the damn Clash winner. I nail it every time I see the lineup. I actually didn't know who else was on it. I just knew you were on it. I was like, everyone's cooked. I was like,
Thank you.
taking it.
You and Dave Kilbride have both predicted the winners every time.
I'm really good.
Yeah,
Except for my own Clash. I can never
You were like, I'm dead
not
last.
gonna win.
That's the right comedic mindset.
Yeah.
Honestly, I've never met a comic that doesn't have a certain level of like, crippling self-doubt. And
Yeah, you have to.
Like,
Or you're just delusional, or you're one of those guys that
Yeah.
gets up at the open mic and you're just like, I'm the greatest thing to happen to comedy since Dave Chappelle.
why
or-
is no one booking me?
Yeah, right.
And I love when those guys finally come to their senses and become wedding DJs. I love when they finally wake up and remember who they are. And they need to push play.
Yeah.
That feels so targeted.
Yeah. There's a specific
I
name in
know.
her head right now.
No, I've genuinely seen it play out. Or, they find, you know what? I was going to try to come up with another example. No, it's just wedding.
It's just wedding DJs.
It's just wedding DJs.
Yeah.
That's so funny. I feel like it's like a balance of the self-hatred, but there also is that little bit of like, I am the you quietly go, my body language is gonna give I got this, but I'm gonna tell you I suck, and a part of me means it.
It's a duality that does not make any sense whatsoever. But you really do have to have this like feeling of like I could be one of the greatest.
Yes.
And I suck at the same time.
Yep.
And those are the best comics.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and the ones that are, I mean, I can only like recall one that is truly like self-deprecating that like believes it, and that's just a bad hang. That's just not fun.
Yeah, that's not fun.
Around.
Yeah.
If you're gonna hate yourself, be funny about it.
Be funny about it.
Be funny about it.
Yeah.
Have something to bring to the table.
Yeah.
Well, anyway. What else?
Your putting yourself down should bring other people up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, no one cares.
Yeah.
Exactly. I really quickly, do you know who that you'll be doing your guest spot for? When
No,
you
I
come
don't
back
know.
to Omaha? Okay. That's exciting. What was your impression of competing in the Clash? Impressions being the people alongside. You don't have to get, this doesn't have to get super
I mean,
political.
I don't live here, so like forget.
Fuck 'em.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
okay, that's what I wanted. But I wanted to make sure, I wanted to ease into that.
I was talking about it with Zach, and we said it at the beginning of the show that Des Moines comics are funnier.
They really are. I enjoy hanging out with, you guys are nicer.
Yeah,
And
we have a cool
funnier.
scene.
Yeah, you guys are just cool.
I
Everyone
will
should come to
say
Des
the
Moines.
thing that I love about the Des Moines scene is the camaraderie
Yeah.
that we all have with
Yeah.
one another. Like that is
We truly
rare.
care about the art, and we're not so selfish that like we feel like if this person does well, that's taking away from me. You know, it's like
Yep.
if you do well, then we all get to do well, because then you
Yep.
get a show, I get to be on that show or whatever.
Exactly.
And like if the comedy is good, then the audience comes back, and that's ultimately what you want, is for people to enjoy with their time and hopefully come back to the same venue. And that doesn't happen all the time, but
Yeah.
you know, we not just me and Zach, but like I think our whole scene is really good at pitching jokes, punching up jokes, especially like if we do a roast.
Yeah.
A roast is one of those times where we all come together, we all delight in shitting on this one person, but it's from a genuine place of love, of like
Yeah.
knowing that person so well
Yeah.
that we can come up with some very good specifics.
Wow. That's
Yeah, to paraphrase what Tim said, we are generally superior
Yeah.
to everyone else.
Genetically.
I wish. I'm just like thinking about. I mean, you brought up roast battles in general. Roast battles. That's why I am going to come see. 'Cause I
come.
need to see what you guys are bringing to the table.
Yeah.
For the Omaha local public television.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very excited because our roast. I think our scenes. It's like I want to. The energy is I hate you.
Yeah.
And I think you're fat.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
gonna say it.
It's an excuse to be mean.
It's so rude, and it's not crafty at all. I think the only
Yeah.
person I mean, there are good writers. Brianna Calhoun herself is so funny.
Killer.
Yeah.
She is like insane, like off the rip.
Yeah.
Even like if she's bringing up a comic or following a comic who's like a dickhead, she'll have like the perfect.
She's
thing
got
to
it.
say.
Yeah, every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish she would do a round on just the whole lineup. Just do pop off on each one.
Yeah. You should pitch that to her as an
pitch it.
idea.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Great writer. We love when Bree comes to town. We love when you come to town too. There are several Omaha comics that we love to see, I think.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Genuinely. Some of my favorite comics to perform with are Omaha comics.
Yeah.
It's such a treat. I mean, every time I've gone down to perform, I've always gone with Lauren Vanna.
Oh yeah.
And I remember the first time we went down, it was for Matt Weiss's Glory Hole. And you were on the lineup, and I remember me and Lauren just being like, he cleared. Like, it was just like, not that it even was like a competitive thing, but it was just like, that set, I remember like not even really knowing and being like, I have to buy this man a drink. I was like,
I don't
comedy's
drink.
so good that I'm like, add one to my tab. Like, that was amazing.
Well, and we loved your set too. I mean, I felt like that whole night was great. All those sets stood out to me. Yeah.
I mean, not to plug Matt Weiss's Glory Hole.
Great.
Plug.
Please plug the hole.
That's great.
I got you with that one.
Really good.
He always books excellent lineups
Yeah.
in comics.
Matt has good taste.
Yeah. And that's why, I mean, I knew about that show. I knew about a lot of stuff going on at Tees for a while, and I was just like, I will never meet the caliber. That
Oh, really?
Tees- I had that like feeling in my head because, you know, Tees was just like when I first started, just like this distant on a pedestal. And then, which kind of still, I mean, it still is. You guys have a very special thing for your scene that like, I envy and wish that we had in our scene, which is a club that is plugged into the local comedy scene, but also like you get these really big names that are coming through, and it's still like it's like I feel like we have those things but separate.
Yeah, you also have a better relationship with your funny bone in Omaha.
True.
That's why I had to come over here to do Clash the Comics.
True. Oh
I had to leave the state to get the opportunity to get on a bigger platform.
Sure.
The Des Moines Funny Bone, for whatever reason, has never really been that participatory in the local scene. I mean, like there's a few handful of like, veteran funny bone comics who will come around to a mic every once in a while. They'll sit in the back at a table and they won't go up. They'll just sit there and judge or whatever. And maybe they'll pick someone out and be like, I like that comic, but they won't give them a guest spot. They won't let them host,
And even like I've had some of those comics be like, we got to get you on at the funny.
Oh yeah.
Bone. And they mean it in the moment.
But then they forget your name.
About me tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, so, yeah.
No, I always wondered about that because that is something that I know our funny bone is like pretty.
Yeah. Daisy is cool.
Yeah, it is better, and I've just heard either that the Des Moines funny bone either not nice or just not welcoming to.
I mean, I don't know really what the deal is. I've heard some stories, and I'd probably be bad if I repeated them because I don't know all the facts, but I think the general idea is just that like they've got what they have going on, and that's what they're gonna do.
That's it.
And they don't do the same thing that Daisy does, which is like invest in new talent and like try to find the next big thing and cultivate that talent and give them opportunities and put them on bigger stages. So
yeah,
I think that Tyler Walsh, same thing. He was doing great in Des Moines. He came over to Omaha, and then he just blew up.
That was so he was in the Des Moines comedy
long time
before. Yeah. Okay. Tyler Walsh is insane.
Yeah, he's great.
He's great.
Brilliant. Yeah. I can't wait to roast him.
Yeah.
So you guys have history.
No, I don't.
No,
really.
So,
Tyler left before Zach came back.
Yeah, and it's so funny having to roast him.
Yeah.
Because like.
What do you really know about
I
the guy?
tried digging up dirt on this guy.
Yeah.
No, he's
clean.
No one has a bad word to say about this man. Not one.
No.
It's like, all right, well, I guess I'm just gonna have to figure it out.
Yeah.
I really like. Have you met either of you? You know Ross Doling?
Yes.
Yeah, his style of roasting is very like non-roasting. Like he'll be like, you look like you'd be like a really good couponer. It's just like things that are like not really a roast, but he's just like throwing it to you like it is.
Yeah.
And I enjoy that. And I feel like with a guy like Tyler Walsh, that's like almost how you have to like, I don't even know. I couldn't even, if I had to think of one, I couldn't think of.
Yeah.
I'm like, you lost weight really fast and you look great.
That's
I don't
the
know.
thing, yeah.
So I actually have a bit about that.
Yeah.
That I do. You'll hear it. But like, there's this saying that I use over and over again. Other comics are probably sick of hearing me say it, which is, comedians don't say funny things. Comedians say things funny. So
yeah,
like,
I wish you would shut the fuck up about that.
Right?
Get a new catchphrase or something.
You should say it funnier. And
Yeah, say it funnier.
will.
Yeah, lean into it a little more.
But so basically, that like you can say that, but the job of the comedian is to find the funniest way to say that.
And Ross, perfect example. His cadence and the way that he speaks, like he could almost say anything and it would just be silly and fun.
Yeah.
He really is a good comic too. Like you've got plenty of great comics in Omaha. I know we've just been talking shit for the first 20 minutes,
and
but
I could keep going. I was like,
that's what this podcast is. Okay. We figured it out.
The theme is shitting on my peers.
Burn every bridge.
And then bringing him on later.
Not you.
Well, okay, honestly, though, the time that you have been brought up on this podcast was when we had Rachel Ware on.
Yes.
And
I hate her so much.
The most insane story ever was that you guys twice were I don't even were around someone who deceased. Died. Almost that she had to resuscitate.
Rachel saved 2 lives.
In front of you.
Yeah.
Is she just an angel of death?
Oh, yeah, for sure. But all of her training and everything, she really, like, it was amazing to watch her respond in the moment and, like, take command of the situation, tell people what they needed to do. Like, you need to call 911, not somebody call 911 of, like, you right now, and, like, to me. So I went and ran down the street and got a plastic bag in case she needed to do mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. And then, you know, I flagged down the ambulance and stuff, but she was the one staying with the guy the whole time of, like, you know, stay with me, hang in there, what's your name, trying to keep him, you know, lucid and conscious as much as possible. But yeah, twice that happened. So yeah, we don't hang out anymore just for other people's safety, mostly.
Yeah, I'm glad. Imagine if she was riding with us. What would have happened? That guy would have blew too tired.
Yeah. Rachel is for sure an angel of death. Yeah. And aren't you scared of Rachel? Aren't you just a little bit afraid?
No, when I first started stand up, I was terrified of her, but also, like, a part of me was like, I want to be her.
I want to be her,
but I am horrified.
She cultivates that. She's really good at it.
She's so funny.
Yeah, she's a boss.
And then it's like she's got this, like, wall up of, like, don't even dare, bitch. But then it's like once you get to know her, she's so sweet.
The sweetest.
She just invited me today to, and I am bragging, honestly.
Brag.
I am bragging. And she's doing a bring your own pool
I'm
party.
Also invited to this.
Shut up, are you going?
Yeah, I'm going to try to go.
Okay, please go.
What kind of pool are you bringing?
This is what I'm thinking of, because you could bring an inflatable normal pool, or you could go insanity and you could steal a trash can and you could fill it with water. You could
don't steal a trash can.
Don't steal
buy a new. Don't make your own garbage broth.
Once I said steal, I was like, "This is."
The podcast is doing well enough. You can afford a garbage can.
I can afford. At least I would. Never mind. I was gonna say I would take one from here. I would never.
Would never
dream of
heard that media.
Heard that media. That's
Somebody should just bring, like, a piece of paper that is a pool on, like, who's gonna bring the coolest pool.
Yeah. Or I was also thinking a water slide situation.
Oh, really?
There you go.
Yeah, but I would love to. I haven't dislocated my knee in a really long time, so
it's been a while.
It's been a hot minute.
When was the last time?
Same.
I dislocated my knee. I was actually hosting music bingo. That's what I do. I work here.
That sounds very similar to, like, a wedding DJ.
Ooh. Oh, Zach, ready to roast.
Here's where it's not. I get that, but I get to still be quirky and fun. Wedding DJs, if you say one,
really,
I think you can't riff as a wedding DJ. Are you kidding me?
That's out of pocket. Okay.
That's the day of their lives.
Yeah,
this
not
is
about
just
you.
Music bingo at a dive bar.
Yeah.
This is But I was hosting music bingo for a Salvation Army Christmas party, and I was walking back to the table. And I dislocated my knee, slammed on the table, like fell onto the table loud. Everyone was like, oh! And then I picked up the mic and I turned it on. I go, hey guys, I just dislocated my knee. I'm really sorry. I'm going to sit down for the rest of this.
I'm really sorry.
You need to move to Iowa.
Yeah.
That's an Iowa move.
Yeah.
Right there, apologizing for your own injury.
Yeah.
I've always felt connected spiritually to the Des Moines scene. And so that situation.
So when are you moving?
No.
I mean, this is great. This is a cool studio, but we could probably get something else going.
I just moved to Omaha like 3 weeks ago.
What? Where were you before?
I was in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You're a Lincoln comic.
Hold that.
Hold on.
She's about to get real defensive.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
Ouch.
I'm just kidding. I have love for the Lincoln scene. It's just dying rapidly.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be associated with it.
I get that. My only experience with the Lincoln scene, I went over there one time to do what I was told was a charity show. Do you know who this guy is?
Oh my God, Hunter James.
Yeah.
I will say his full government on there. Yeah.
I don't know what the charity was or if the charity ever got any money, but I think that guy got some money.
Yeah. Was it the Planned Parenthood? No, exactly. This is a very accurate response. Was it, I don't know if you remember the bar, but was that 1867?
Yeah.
Yeah. I bailed day of that show.
Good call.
Yeah, I did. That's never again.
So that was my experience with Lincoln. I was like, it's a bunch of grifters. This is a grifter town.
And I had to get out. I could not be associated. but I started in Omaha and I moved out there.
Oh, okay.
Worst mistake of my life. I just found an apartment that I liked. No job. Nothing.
You just moved because you liked the apartment?
Exactly. I was living in a synagogue. I was like, this place rocks. I'm going to leave.
That is really cool.
And then I came to my senses and was like, I work in Omaha. Why?
You were commuting every day to Omaha?
Well, this past year I was, because I was working here.
God.
And so I was commuting. I also, my musical bingo.
Yeah.
I was here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say, okay, I shit on wedding DJs, but I did apply.
Here it comes.
I did
Knew it.
It was maybe like it was like last summer, 2 summers ago, maybe.
So, what I'm hearing is that you would have been a wedding DJ had you not been rejected from that position.
I think that's right. No. Let's hear why
I'm
not.
gonna defend myself.
You better.
Because so I went in for I was looking for a gig. I needed a job. I was just bartending. I hated it. So I go in for the interview and the guy asked me what my spirit animal is.
Good start.
Which I think that's culture. I don't think you can make that joke.
What's yours?
I did say an otter.
Okay.
While we're here, what is yours?
Skunk.
Zach?
A turtle.
Okay.
No.
Oh, I think all of our animals would hang out at some point.
Oh, yeah.
They would get together. He asked me that. That was a red flag. And then also he wanted me to sign a form that was like, I was probably reading too much into it, but it was pretty much a non-compete.
Oh.
So I could only perform at the venues at the wedding. It conflicted with comedy.
Yeah.
Is what I got.
You
from
were
it.
doing comedy at the time.
And I was doing
Yeah.
I was doing comedy. So I conflicted with the comedy and I said, this is sketchy, I'm not gonna do this. And then
Yeah.
I started doing music bingo.
I think that's a good call. Good pivot.
So I'm hating on my own, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it really feels like you're projecting a little
Yeah.
I am projecting, and does a part of me like still want to DJ weddings?
There it is. We got to it. 27 minutes.
I do think it would be fun. Because my initials for my name are JD, Joslyne DeBonis. So I would be DJ JD.
Okay. That's
Okay.
something.
There's
something there.
That's what I'm saying. And
You can see the graphic design for that.
and
Perfect
also,
mirror.
It would be a mirror.
yep.
Something mirror.
Yep.
And also I don't think that I like I said, they don't really allow riffing at a wedding.
What?
But I would bring it to the table.
Yeah.
I would say we have a riff option. We have a non-riff option.
Totally a la carte. Cost you nothing extra.
Look, you can always riff as long as you're really, really good at it.
Yeah.
That was our whole conversation
No
right
one's
up
gonna
here.
complain.
Yeah.
No.
Like you can do whatever as long as it's funny.
Yes.
I recently I tested that this last Thursday. I hosted lesbian music bingo. And my entire family, which honestly I had no knowledge that I didn't know that they were allies, honestly, until they all decided to come to this event.
Until music bingo was involved, and then it was like, I can wave the flag.
They were like rationalizing it. Like my aunt was like, I've been to a drag bingo. And I was like, well.
It's like everybody becomes an ally when they get to wear pasties and dance around.
Yeah. Did you experience that with this last Pride, this last month of like the straights coming out in support? Because like they get to dress up, they get to like cosplay as gay.
It's fun for them. It's like the glitter and everything. And I will say, before I came out as a lesbian, that was me.
Yeah.
But now it's like, oh, it was.
But now you've paid that debt.
Yeah.
So basically, you don't just project about being a wedding DJ. There's a pattern here.
You know, usually people pay Zach big money for these kind of therapy sessions.
I am a big projector though. I'm like, for example, I'm a big hater. I love to hate.
Yeah. But
it comes from
the things that you hate are the things that you pay attention to. So they are the things that you care about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. This is
deep shit.
This is really deep.
We can keep going if you want. We don't have to end right now.
What? I'm like signaling to Grace.
Yeah, we got to wrap this up.
Can you cue the music? There's no music. There's no music. Riffing though. Oh, at Lesbian Music, I was like, this is so out of comfort zone for my whole family to be here. This is a lot for them, and so I have to be funny. And I think I did a good job. I riffed very good to where it was like they didn't realize how gay everything was. It was a sea of lesbians, and then in the corner my conservative family.
Yeah.
And it was really good.
What is that like? What are you talking like? What? Give me a specific of like.
My family's actually really cool, and I love them deeply, and I would die for every single one of them. But it's like a new thing. This is like being gay is like so new for them, and it's so close to them now because it's me.
Yeah.
And so it's like them really like, oh, it's in our family.
Yeah, we caught it.
It's like I don't know if you've ever. Do you know who Robbie Hoffman is?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. But.
Comic.
Yeah.
I know her from the Chris Gethard show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, she's just got a joke where she was like, I'm gay. She was like, that's something that happened to my mom, was like me being gay. And I was just like, that's so accurate, where it's like, there's being gay, but it's like, yeah, it happened to my family.
The whole, like, it's in my family now just has me thinking that now they're, like, looking at Ancestry, trying to figure out, like, how far back does this go?
They're, like, reevaluating family pictures to see, well, she did have her hand on her hip. Yeah.
It's a lot of flannel.
It's a lot. And I honestly do still think at the end of that event, I do still think some of my uncles were like, she's straight. Come on. Like, no, I'm just hosting this super lesbian event.
But like, come on.
Come on. I don't know where I got off on that, but Lesbian Music Bingo was life-changing.
Well, yeah, we were talking about wedding DJs and... Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna bring it to the root. This is I say I want to be a wedding DJ. The truth is I want to be a DJ.
Yeah, I think every wedding DJ wants to be a DJ.
And it would fulfill the trifecta of like I really just want to be a frat boy, douchebag, DJ, podcaster. Yeah, I want all of those things.
You want to just start hacking crypto?
It's just I feel like it is that's the next step for me.
Yeah.
It really is.
I just need you now to tell me exactly what your feelings on NFTs are.
Yeah.
You know what? Once I find out what that stands for, I'll come back to you.
Deal.
Actually, when you find out what it stands for, it doesn't really help.
It does not.
Nah, so you're going to be just as lost, I think. So,
dude, the whole crypto NFT
Let's talk
thing,
about
it's
it.
like the more you describe it, the more fake it sounds.
yeah.
It's like, no, you don't understand. It's like, I don't think you understand.
Yeah, they don't.
My only understanding of crypto, all of that, was that one day Justin Bieber spent millions of dollars on a picture. I think it's just money laundering.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it
for
sounds
sure.
like.
For real.
For sure.
Yeah. And I'm okay with that.
But it's not like that's new. Like high art has been used for money laundering for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Just overinflating the price of some object that you determine the value of.
Yes.
Why not?
I'm okay with that.
Let the rich do it. I think it's great.
I think it is fine. I would love, once my DJing career takes off, like, that's a cool...
What's your DJ name? JD? DJ
JD. I might have to come up with something, like, a little bit trendier.
Yeah, you think so?
If I'm going... Because DJ JD is wedding cool.
Yeah.
But if I'm going to be, like...
If you're, like, in the club.
If I want a residency in Vegas...
Right.
I need something...
It's not Skrillex cool. Yeah.
That is a name.
Skrillex is cool.
Skrillex. Yeah.
DeBone X.
DeBone X. That's a drug. That's it. Do your bones hurt?
DeBone X. But
I could never be a DJ. I would never want that responsibility.
Really?
Never.
You don't think it would be fun?
No.
Okay.
I really don't. I love music, but
I would want to just get violent with anybody who like requests crappy music.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, I see that. I think that's like, I think it also visually looks cool.
Okay, so this is what it comes down to. And like you said earlier, like you want to be the frat boy aesthetic. Like you want to look cool, number one. And also I'll say we did a show recently. We did the, what was it? The no pants dance or whatever. The,
we did, yeah, it was, what's that damn show? We did a naked show.
Did a naked comedy show.
Naked comedy.
And your outfit was very frat boy cool.
It was, but it was also giving, I don't feel comfortable wearing my panties in front of everyone, so I'm going to wear boxers.
Yeah.
I was like insecure, but I was like, no, I'm not insecure.
How did you feel going into that?
I almost dropped out.
Yeah.
I was just like, I don't want to do it, but I love Rachel and Tyrell and Brittany Thailander. And like, I want to do this show.
Yeah.
Also, I knew the room was going to be packed. And
It was.
And I will say I had to follow you. And
Sorry.
Fuck you. Because I literally was dying. You set the bar so high. And then I came in and was like, all right, let's come back down for a second. I hated you a little bit.
You know, I've been having that problem a lot lately. That's a good problem to have for me, I guess. But like, I just did some shows with a touring headliner. Mm-hmm. We were in Waverly, Iowa, and then Clear Lake, Iowa, and it was a great vacation. Clear Lake, Iowa, if you've never been, beautiful. Yeah. It was a lot of fun. But I went right before the headliner each time, and for the second show, he like came up to me and was like, you know, Lisa should probably have gone after you so that the flow. I was like, I don't have to go. Do you want me to not go? I don't have to.
I've never felt that way.
Never?
Honestly, I will say that was the first time I felt that way.
Good.
And I was like, but it wasn't like a anger. It was just like, you know what? Step it up.
Step it the fuck up.
This is Tim Overton casually stepping in to a naked show.
Yeah.
Just dropping a set quick.
Yeah.
And he's out. He's done.
That's it.
Justin Bulver is a Des Moines comedian.
Oh,
and
crusher.
I remember I was reading a Facebook post. Somebody asked, you know, what are your goals as a comic? And Justin said, I aspire to be a comic that great comedians love following and everyone else hates following.
Yeah, that's a good pocket.
And I was always like, yes, that's exactly right. Mm-hmm. Because when you get to a certain like level, and I don't know that I'm always there, but if you get to a certain level, it's like, oh, somebody just killed, I get to go up to a hot crowd.
That's the thing, is like you can be afraid of it and like, oh, I'm not enough in this moment, or I'm afraid that like I'm not up to par or whatever. Or you can look at it as an opportunity of like, the crowd is so hot, I'm going to ride this wave right into the stratosphere, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And I will say the hater in me that night was like, the crowd's tired.
Well, now they're tired of laughing. They're all laughed out.
I go, this is actually...
Their ribs cannot take that much.
I go, this is just a case of laughter fatigue. They're sleepy. They've had some cocktails. It's time to go to bed.
Yeah.
So that's how I'm handling that.
That is a thing that happens.
No, don't.
That is a thing that happens, truly, of like... at that show I was on in Clear Lake, like 8 people walked out of the VFW that we were in. And I was like, they're tired.
They're sleepy.
Yeah.
It's late.
Not during my set, but.
I hate being like late on a list and like watching like maybe like the comics that are on the list aren't great.
Sure.
It happens. And like watching progressively people walk out before I get to go up. I'm like, guys, just stay. I'll give you something. I promise.
Yeah.
Just stick around.
Yeah. That's how.
That does happen.
That happens a lot. I will say though that like it feels like, and I feel like in Omaha, I don't know. I don't feel like I'm always. This is going to sound cocky as fuck, and I don't mean it.
We've been cocky pretty much a lot so far. I'm just leaning into it.
Lean into it.
All the way.
That's okay. But I genuinely, I just feel like there are people that are very talented that are challenging, but I don't get an opportunity to work with them all the time. But I feel like with the shows, the people that normally get booked, it's not challenging. Whereas when we have people from out of town, say like you guys coming in on a show, being funny in a way Omaha isn't used to.
Sure.
It raises the bar and it challenges and it like puts a little fire in everyone's ass.
Yeah. Yeah. Like we were talking about in the car, of just the opportunity to go to a different scene, a different community, and see if the stuff hits different, you know?
Yep.
That is really validating to be able to go somewhere else and see like, oh, there is a common denominator here, you know? And it's true that like scenes have their flavor. Like we're all making a big stew together. And I think that like in the Des Moines scene, like if you had to characterize the style of humor of Des Moines, maybe versus Omaha, maybe think about Omaha.
I'm going to be thinking.
Yeah.
So, I would say Des Moines comedy is more come hang out with me. And
that was so sweet.
Omaha comedy is like, here's what I want you to know that I think.
Okay, you sure?
That was very well said, and that was very along the lines of where I was going with it, where it's like the good comics here who are working are very like, don't align with that really, and are like dope as fuck and super funny. But I feel like the state of our scene right now is we're overran with like shitty. Did you see it slowly? It's shitty.
You were like trying to find another word.
Don't say it. But it is. It's like shitty. It's like it's.
Do they watch this?
I'm never.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm
good.
never gonna work in this town.
I know, right? Let's just
No.
burn the bridge to the ground.
No, the people who are good will book you, obviously, but it's it's like the thing of like I don't know how to explain it without like categorize. It's their vibe is very they want to go to Austin, Texas, and make it big at the mothership.
That is a whole thing.
That is a whole thing.
Because like Kill
that.
Tony is like the biggest thing in comedy right now,
Yes,
whether
it's
you like it or
huge.
not. You know, and a lot of people are going to Austin or getting into comedy with that explicit goal of like, I want Tony Hinchcliffe to like me.
Yeah.
Which is just a horrible thing to wish on anybody. Like, why would you ever want that for yourself? But
And they're writing with that intention. It's like I think the thing I get frustrated with our scene is it's like you'll have a comic that's newer, and instead of wanting to, when a comic gets on stage, I like want to know about you.
Yeah.
And if I know about you, then like if you have something political to say, like I know you.
then you know where they're coming from.
And I know where you're coming from. The comics want to like skip over that and get very political, and it's like I'm not receiving this well because
Who are you?
Tell me about when you peed your pants.
Yeah.
In front of your class, like just be vulnerable.
Even if you're gonna talk about politics, you better do it in a way that's relatable.
Yeah.
Like the first job of a comedian is to make people laugh. You have to make a connection with people to make people laugh. So I'm all about doing politics. I've got plenty of political jokes, but you have to tell them in a way that people can relate to. Your first job is to be funny. You only get to say what you want to say if you're funny. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, I do a joke, and the punchline relies on the joke not working initially. The Twitter joke. You know, should I just tell the joke? No. But the punchline is like, liberals don't like being called out for their hypocrisy, but conservatives don't know what dead naming is. So why do the joke? Why do I write these things? I don't know. You know? But that gets the laugh, right?
Yeah.
So you're able to talk about those things, but
I think a thing that's happening in our scene right now especially with it being Pride Month, is that like every comic feels like they need a gay joke.
they have to.
And you know what? It's so crazy because I have maybe 3 gay jokes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just got to a point where I was comfortable like doing them.
Right.
And so it's like for a person who has no part in that identity or no, they
have no stake in it. You know, there's no risk on their part. There's no vulnerability, like you said, no authenticity. Yeah.
No related to them. It's just, I need to check this box of like, I need to have a joke on this topic.
It's
and it's
topical.
frustrating because it'll be like a comic that I enjoy seeing, and they go up there like, lesbian porn, man. And I'm like, well, yeah, but not for you. But I don't know. I feel like I think with our scene though, those people, if they're not getting booked, the bad habit is they go, well, I'm just going to go start my own show.
Yeah, and you can do that. And that happens in Des Moines too.
Yeah.
Oh, that happens in Des Moines a lot.
You're encouraged to do that, of like, hey, no one's stopping you. There's no gatekeeper here that's going to tell you that like you can't go talk to that bar and get a show going. You can do that. And we'll even I encourage it.
Yeah.
And if nothing else, it's like the reality check for them of like, oh, this is hard. Or this isn't working.
Right, because the reality is there is a gatekeeper.
It's the audience.
It's the audience.
It's the audience, and they'll tell you. Yeah.
That was very well said, but that's also true because promoting a show And like having people turn up, especially if it's a regular show, is very hard.
That's a full-time job.
It is very hard.
It's difficult, and you have to. You have to. The hardest part about being a promoter, because I promote shows, is like hurting feelings. Because like you're establishing a reputation, so it's like, okay, I can only book the best comics on my shows. There are a lot of people that I like as people that I have to go, keep working on your material. One day I would love to book you on this show, but today is not that day.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's valid. And it's an uncomfortable thing when you're like a comic who's like really involved in the scene, and then you do put on a show where you're like, you'll have your people come up to you and say, put me on. You're like, well.
And if you do that, you're really, I don't know if you're helping them or hurting them.
Yeah.
I mean, if their takeaway from the experience is like, wow, I have work to do, then maybe that's helpful.
That is helpful.
But, a lot of people who think they are ready lack the insight to be like, I wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were talking about premises and things that like are true to us that we're not ready to talk about yet. Like you only have 3 jokes about being a lesbian now.
Yeah.
Like I have so many topics in my life where they're personal to me that like I'm just not ready to talk about those things yet.
Yeah, that's so, and it's like I look forward to it because I'm like, I can see how this is funny, but I just like the writing, it's just like I need to fully be able to think it's funny in order to like get to that point.
Well, and finding a way in
Yeah.
is the biggest challenge.
Oh, yeah.
I'll think of a premise and I'll sit on it for months until the right way in hits me.
Yeah.
But again, comedians say things funny. If I can't figure out the funny way to say it, it needs to wait.
Yeah.
I think a similar thing happens too with improv, with people like wanting to get on the stage and do shows, but maybe they're not there yet. And I know the backline primarily as like an improv theater because that's what I started doing. And I really didn't get serious about stand up until like a couple years ago. I had done it here and there, but like I wasn't going to the mic every week and going to every mic every week and doing that until a couple years ago. But I think a similar thing happens where you hurt people's feelings by like, I didn't book you on this thing, especially when it's like a team thing where it's like everyone can be a part of it. But like, if they're not ready, they're just going to have a bad time. They're going to, hate themselves
And feel bad.
and they're going to feel bad. And then they're not going to want to continue. And so you want to try and give, it's the thing in teaching where you want to like put, obstacles just out of reach for them, but like obtainable. Same thing with goals, right? You want to be able to like set a goal that is obtainable, but is a little bit further out and not impossible so that you quit or too easy that you just like, I'm the greatest at this and you're delusional.
That's I mean, I sing this man's praises like every time on this podcast, but Zach Peterson, I feel like if as far as our scene goes, he does such a great job.
I hear his name a lot.
Yeah, but he does such an amazing job of like, I mean, even down to like teaching classes and stuff, but like knowing who's ready for what. And like we've gotten into discussions about like, he's got this like mental tier of like what shows, because he runs our Don't Tell here. So that's kind of like, just helping comics that are newer like work their way up to those bigger shows where it's like they're at a point where not only are they materially, they're ready for it, they can handle that room. Their audience. So
yeah,
that's important.
It is very important.
This is kind of awkward, but I will say we are rounding down towards the end. I've had a really good time.
This was fun.
Same. I have as well.
You guys are fiercely funny, and I'm like very excited to see
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
the roast
gonna be a
battle.
fun show.
And obviously I will I'll put a link in the description of this podcast on Spotify and YouTube and stuff so that people can check that out. Hopefully
Awesome.
by the time that it's out. But yeah, thank you guys so much for coming on.
Of course.
Thanks
Can we
for
plug
having
some
us.
things?
Yes, absolutely. Sorry, I usually do that, but yeah, plug your socials, where people can find you, all that shit.
What do you got, Zach?
Just follow me at Zach Mecham on most platforms. Others, Zach of All Trades Media. Google one or the other. You're going to find me.
Yeah, Zach
Instagram.
does a ton of cool stuff with video and like tons of great sketches and video projects like 48-hour film festival stuff. And
sick.
Zach of All Trades Media.
That's cool.
And I think I'm at Tim D. Overton or something.
Yes.
I don't know.
We'll have those linked as well.
Perfect.
People can find you and they can stalk you,
Great.
come to your shows.
Great.
All that stuff. Thank you
I've always
guys.
wanted a stalker.
You need a stalker. It's about time. Are you kidding me? Everyone deserves a good stalker.
Yeah,
I've
that's
been
when you...
posting thirst trap photos on Instagram for so long, and nobody will take the bait.
Okay, that's actually what we're going to be linking instead. I'm sorry. It was going to be the roast battle. Now it's Zach's photos. Thank you guys again. Yeah. Thank you, Grace.
Thanks, Grace.
Thank you so much.